soups prepared the right way packs in a lot of nutrition. I'm going to show you my top favorite soup recipes: spinach, corn, mushroom and broccoli. What's unique about each recipe is I managed to pack in 4 or 5 vegetables in each recipe. They are so simple that you can actually alter these soups into your own style and your taste. Now I will start from number 4 and we'll go down to 4, 3, 2, 1, and 1 would be my favorite soup recipe. Today I'm going to show you how to make a creamy, delicious sweet corn soup. And it has vegetables, it has corn, it is delicious. If I just add a health twist to this by adding another 4 colors of vegetable, believe me, the taste is the same. It's just added a little more color. Now what I'll do is I'll boil these vegetables all together for about 5 minutes. Remember, I don't want it to be all boiled up. I want it to be a little bit crunchy. So I boil it for 5 minutes. Now this includes the corn that I hadn't boiled or steamed with this, because I want some of the corn to be crunchy. I want some of these vegetables to be crunchy. So I'm going to actually grind some of the corn that I have steamed. And the reason I do this is because I want this soup to be nice and thick and creamy. Look at this, nice and creamy. So I will add this mixture to my vegetables that are boiling. So I add the mixture to this. The ground corn thickens the soup for sure. I also use some, a teaspoon of cornstarch, so you could use that if you want to thicken, and that's really easy. Like, you just blend it in some water, and while the corn is boiling, you put it in, slowly put it in. The soup is thickening because we want it to get thick and creamy. And the colors, I love the colors. Look at this, brilliant colors: yellow, red, green, orange. I've added my ground corn, my cornstarch, and now I'm going to put a little bit of salt. So salt to taste, you can put as much as you want. And I will put ground black pepper. So a little bit of black pepper, ground black pepper, right? And also I learned in another recipe which I will try today, you can also put a pinch of sugar, right? I know I say don't eat too much sugar, but just a pinch. Now this is something I learned in my many years of living in Thailand. They put sugar in everything, so I put a pinch of sugar in this to just enhance the taste and to make it really yummy and creamy and sweet corn soup. So there's just a little bit of sugar. So I'll wait for this to boil. The soup is ready. If you're a vegetarian, you can skip this step of adding the egg. The soup is absolutely ready. It's delicious, it's creamy, it's ready for anyone to eat it. Now the reason I add egg is 2 reasons. Number 1, I make my best effort to up my protein, my family's protein intake. So egg is one of the best forms of protein. And number 2 is when you mix this egg, it gives a really nice marbleized pattern. So when the egg comes in contact with the boiling soup, it cooks, and the quicker you stir, the finer the threads. So I'm going to stir this really quickly, and the soup is ready. It looks delicious. You can even see the white color of the egg, the green. I mean, it's a colorful, delicious, creamy soup. Now to just make it a little more tasty, I put a blob of butter, and you can just stir in the butter, and the soup is ready. I put off my gas right now. My soup is ready to eat. It looks delicious. It's a really filling soup as well. So a lot of times, if you don't want to eat a big meal at night, this is a great way to have a soup and still have it enough to fill you up. It has vegetables, it has corn, it is delicious. Today I'm going to make a mushroom soup. So I have 4 simple ingredients. I have mushrooms, I have 1 potato, some garlic and an onion. And I will take you through the process of making this really simple soup. Why do I occasionally have the mushroom soup? Is it because of its super nutrition or its taste? Honestly, for its taste. Anyhow, this is going to be a delicious mushroom soup and my family loves it. It's really yummy. I will take you through the process in my kitchen. And you can also use a normal blender if you want. I just used a soup blender, and you can use your mixer, and so it's a nice thick, look at this, it's nice and thick, and it's almost ready. So I put it back on the gas. So I put it back on the gas for a boil, a small boil again. I put some nice amount of butter. You can put some more if you like, you know. I put butter, you can also add ghee maybe. And I will also put some milk to make it creamy. So here you go. And some salt and some pepper. Okay, and I will bring this to a boil. There you go. Look at that. It's nice and creamy. The butter will melt, and just bring it to one boil, and the soup is ready.
Mmm.
Yummy.
My favorite soup.
So I'm going to make a spinach soup today, and I thought I will take you through the process. So we're going to have spinach soup for dinner. Now notice the amount of quantity I've taken, a lot of spinach. I also put some carrots, some onions, some garlic. So I'm going to put all of this in my pan, ready to boil. We all know spinach is high in iron and it's good. It also has very high amount of vitamin A and beta carotene that's good for eye health. So I'm using liberal amounts of water here because we want to make soup out of this. I'm not giving you exact recipes here, but of course I'll give you the ingredients, and you just use your, go with the flow, use your imagination. So put some water and let it come to a boil. So I have the vegetables here. I'm going to grind them. I still will use the stock from the vegetables. Now most of the vitamins leach out into the water when you boil it, but not to worry because I'm going to use this water in a bit. So I grind this to a puree. So I have my vegetable stock here, and this is ground. So now I'm going to put this in the look at that, it's a nice dark green color. When you overcook it, there's a tendency for the soup to become brown, and we don't want brown spinach soup, we want green spinach soup. So this looks like, I will again put this, bring this to a small boil. So to this soup now I will add some salt. Now I use pink Himalayan salt, and you could use it, but don't get stuck on these small issues. They're not so important. There are other things more important to help. So I use pepper mill to grind some pepper. It's easy, it's cheap, you get it from Amazon. It's always good to grind your spices if you have the time. And so I have, now to this I will add a nice portion of butter. Don't be shy on using those good fats, because they're good for you. Ghee, butter, they're good for you. These are good fats I want you to use in your cooking. I want to promote using good fats in your cooking. So I will wait for this soup to come to a boil, and I will tell you how it tastes later. The other night I made a broccoli soup, and I got so many DMs asking me how did I make the broccoli soup, and it's not difficult, it's an easy recipe, but I will show you today. I mean, one reason I make a broccoli soup because I find it difficult to feed broccoli to my kids. Most often I find it very difficult, and when you make a soup, it's easier to drink it up. But this soup was not only nutritious, but it was tasty as well. I will add 1 carrot and onion and garlic. You just add some water. I mean, this much is enough. It will cook in its steam. I have my washed broccoli, I have a carrot, I have some onion and garlic. Now to this, I will add a pinch of salt, some pepper. It's always good to grind it freshly. I use coconut milk because it really makes the broccoli soup creamy. I used to use cream before, and I realized that coconut milk is not only, you can make it at home, number one, so you know it's kind of everything it has, the goodness of coconut. Secondly, it has good fats in it, so, and the broccoli soup becomes really creamy with that. You cannot even, I mean, a lot of people say they're not used to the coconut taste. You cannot even taste the coconut. I will keep some color of the broccoli. I mean, it's already going fast, so I put it off, and then I will grind this in with a soup blender. So you could use a soup blender or even your regular mixer. You can. So I leave the water and I just grind up the broccoli and the carrot and the onions, so it becomes like a smooth texture. I just take off the cooked vegetables just to grind it a bit. So, and I don't strain the vegetables off. I use the water and I use the fiber of the vegetables. So I have all the vegetables in here and I will grind it. You see, I still have the green color when you don't overcook the vegetables. So the soup of the vegetable is still with me. I'm going to mix this in the water. Right, look, it's a nice soup here, but it's not complete yet. I'm going to add it to put it on the stove. And to this, I will add my coconut milk that I just made. And look at that, it's nice and creamy. Look at that. You can add more salt to taste. I may actually taste some and see. That's enough. So now I got it to a boil and the soup is ready to eat. If this video is helpful, hit the share button and share it with a friend.